What's up, everybody? It's your pal Billy with Altcoin Buzz. Libra Coin is dominating the headlines here today. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you why I think it's an extremely bullish indicator for this entire space. We're also going to be taking a look at BNB, XRP, and then going to be taking a close look at Bitcoin and what we expect to happen for the future. Why don't you sit back, relax, and let's get this thing cracking. All right, Andreas Antonopoulos had a lot to say about Libra this morning. While Facebook's Libra doesn't compete against any open, public, permissionless, borderless, neutral, censorship-resistant blockchains, it will compete against both retail banks and central banks. This is going to be fun to watch. Looks like Andreas is getting the popcorn out. He also had this to say: is Facebook Libra a real blockchain? No. Will it compete against Bitcoin and truly open public blockchains? Never. All right, so Andreas with some strong words to really assure everybody, or at least his followers, that Libra is not here to compete with Bitcoin. Also wanted to share this interesting theory with you by Nick Carter. Really good thread here by Nick. He's one of my favorite people I follow on Twitter. Really smart guy in the Bitcoin space. One of the main impediments to dollarization in places where it occurred, like Zimbabwe, was a shortage of actual dollars. Libra, more than anything, makes dollars abundant if it works, and disperses them frictionlessly. We've seen Bitcoin being used as dollarizing intermediaries in places like Venezuela. Several stablecoins also have targeted the developing world but lacked the ability to penetrate those markets. If Libra works, again a big if, it does a lot to compromise weaker currencies, allowing the U.S. to produce more of its biggest export, the dollar. That is, unless the Libra administrators back the reserve with real hard assets. Wink. I wonder what they could use for that in the future. If Facebook can pull off this ambitious scheme, it accelerates the inevitable collapse of the long tail of sovereign currencies. Awesome thread by Nick Carter. We'll have that linked in the description for you to follow. All right, so I've told you that I think it's going to be great for Bitcoin, but what about XRP? I'm starting to see this question be asked on crypto Twitter. Does this make XRP obsolete? Well, I don't necessarily think so. I think XRP is completely different than Libra. XRP, for as much crap as it gets for being a centralized cryptocurrency, it actually has a capped max supply, unlike Libra, which is backed by the US dollar. Today, we are not seeing a whole lot of movement out of XRP, up slightly in Bitcoin value, about 2.5%. Still ranked number 3 with an $18.6 billion market cap. And XRP, this Libra news isn't stopping them from their developments and their partnerships. So Ripple announces game-changing partnership with Moneygram. And remember, Ripple is separate from XRP, but both intertwined in their own respects. Okay, Brad Garlinghouse had this to tweet: an industry-defining milestone. Together, MoneyGram and Ripple are solving the challenges with cross-border payments using the speed and efficiency of XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this development. So, 2-year exclusive agreement, Ripple and MoneyGram. According to Ripple Labs, a 2-year partnership has been struck with MoneyGram, which makes Ripple its exclusive digital asset partner. The purview of Ripple's use case here might be more limited than expected. It depends on how many of the transactions are sent and received using Ripple's technology and how much they're worth. All right, this one brought to you from the Daily Hodl. Brad Garlinghouse actually had this to say: the deal is a big step for Ripple, but I think it's an even bigger step for the overall industry. There has been a lot of excitement around what blockchain and digital assets and crypto can mean for the industry, and I think it's the reason why players like Facebook are diving in also. But we haven't yet seen much beyond experimentation. All right, so what do you all think? Is Libra coin a direct threat to what XRP is trying to achieve? In my opinion, short to medium term, no. I'm not sure what's going to happen long term. There's so many black swan events that are on the horizon or could be on the horizon that we're not even thinking about. But I do not foresee XRP going anywhere due to Libra's introduction into the cryptocurrency space. What do you all think? I'm open-minded. I could be wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong if you disagree with me. Why don't you all get in the comments and let me know, how does Libra impact XRP's mission to be one of the world's premier cryptocurrencies. All right, wanted to bring this Bitcoinist.com article to you all, written by Christina Combin. This is pretty good right here. What's changed since Bitcoin was at 9K in 2017? Everything. Okay, so this is a rundown of what the difference is in the atmosphere of the crypto space compared to right now, our current level of $9,000 versus the last time we had seen these levels back in 2017. Okay, the last time Bitcoin reached over 9K, cast your mind back to November 2017, the first time Bitcoin was trading at this price, $9,112. What's changed since then, and why is it so much better placed this time around? Okay, you can see the graph here. We all remember back in 2017 when Bitcoin slowly started creeping up on that $10,000 prediction that Tim Draper had famously made way back in the day. And here we are again, after going through all this bear market, we're back at these levels. What's different this time around? Big businesses weren't scrambling to get in. Okay, we're going to post this in the description too if you want to get the finer details. You can check that out. Institutional investment was few and far between. Okay, so the CBOE and the CME may have been about to launch their Bitcoin futures product, but beyond a few hedge funds and dedicated blockchain investment firms, there were no major names on board. All right, now you have institutions like Bakkt and Fidelity that are working very hard to get their crypto custody and asset exchange in place. All right, so the next one, Bitcoin infrastructure was less solid. Since 2017, the Bitcoin blockchain has been building and improving. Now transaction speed, usage, hash rate, and block size are all up, while transaction fees are down massively by about 68%. We'll see how good that hangs on here. I still think there's some work to be done in that area, but she's right, it's better. And then Congress wasn't debating it. Okay, so we've all heard the horror stories and some of the kind of scary things coming out of some of these congressmen's mouths about Bitcoin and whether it should or should not be banned. In my opinion, this is good. This is all noise. There's something called the Streisand effect. In the age of digital information, when you ban something, it almost makes it stronger. It's too late. The cat's out of the bag. Bitcoin is here to stay. So what other things have changed for Bitcoin since 2017? You can add your thoughts below. We'll have this linked in the description. And we want to hear your thoughts in our comment section as well. What other things have changed for Bitcoin since 2017? Apart from a brief 90-day window, Bitcoin has always been profitable for users, claims Anthony Pompliano. This brought to you by Akash Anand from AMB Crypto. All right, so he's right. We'll talk about that and we'll look at the charts in a second. But this started out with Pompliano giving some credit to the improved hash rates with Bitcoin. There are only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist. As of yesterday, a little more than 17,761,000 have been mined. Of that 17,761,000 Bitcoin, 661,862 were mined in the last 12 months. The current hash rate on the Bitcoin network has again reached all-time high levels, making the network more secure than ever before. Okay, the Morgan Creek official then focused on Bitcoin's performance as an investment asset. According to him, if a user had bought Bitcoin from the start and held it till today, there was only a comparatively small 90-day window where the digital asset was unprofitable. Okay, so in all the existence of Bitcoin, any time that you would have bought, with the exception of like this window right here, sorry, I can't get it precise, you are in the profit. If you did buy right here and those are your only buys, maybe just hold on at this point because we're getting closer. This is not financial advice, but that is what I would do. Bitcoin historical analysis signals that Bitcoin could surge to $62,000 later this year. Wow. NewsBTC.com brings us this analysis, and Bitcoin stabilizes in lower 9,000s after a recent surge. At the time of this writing, Bitcoin is trading up 2% at its current price of just below $9,300, up significantly from the past 24-hour lows of roughly $8,800. All right, they go on in this article to talk about a surge that some analysts are expecting to happen this year if history rhymes. So although theories regarding any massive parabolic movement in the near future remain purely speculative, one prominent analyst is now noting that Bitcoin could surge to above $60,000 based on historical price movements, which could happen as soon as fall of this year. Wow, okay, so Galaxy, another popular analyst on crypto, discussed this possibility in a recent tweet to his over 50,000 followers, noting that 2017 had a candle formation similar to the one that Bitcoin just formed, which was closely followed by a 570% price increase over a 147-day time frame. Year 2017 had a similar weekly candle setup as the one today, which was followed by a 570% price increase over the next 147 days. Another similar price increase puts Bitcoin price at $62,000 by the end of October 2019. He noted while referencing the chart below. Okay, wow, big predictions there. Okay, currently at $9,160. Here's my thing. There's still a part of me that's trying to stay like really humble about these markets, trying to be conservative. I'd like to see this play out kind of in a longer, more slower, organic way, just because I'm still accumulating. But then there's the other part of me that remembers what happened back in 2017, what's happened in the past before, where Bitcoin just goes parabolic with almost no warning. Okay, we're starting to see Libra and Facebook's coin make some headlines. We're starting to see institutions enter this market. We're starting to see Bakkt, Fidelity getting closer and closer to launching some of these Bitcoin futures. It's hard to bet against it at this point for me. What do you all think? Is this the year that Bitcoin explodes, or are we going to need to wait for 2020, 2021? Let us know in the comments. I'd really appreciate your thoughts. Let me know why. And Bitcoin right now at $163 billion market cap. All right, Binance looking to increase their trading volume by launching crypto-pegged tokens. This brought to you by Robert of Altcoin Buzz. Thank you, Robert. Good work with this article. According to a blog post, Binance will issue new BEP2 tokens that will be available on both of its trading platforms. Why? We're about to find out below. So Binance will start by issuing BTC B in the coming days. The token will be pegged to Bitcoin. Each token will have a Bitcoin trading pair. Why is Binance issuing cryptocurrency pegged tokens? By issuing a BTC pegged token, Binance expects an increase in its trading volume. It may not be too big of a deal for its old exchange, however, it will be beneficial to its new DEX. Okay, so this is part of an effort, according to Robert, to kind of ramp up some of the trading volume on Binance's new DEX, which is brand new. Binance also says, while this approach is more centralized than atomic swaps, we believe it provides a higher degree of ease of use to most traders. And most traders are already trusting Binance.com to hold their funds anyways. Compared to fiat tethering, crypto can provide a high degree of transparency so that anyone can audit the reserves publicly anytime they want. All right, thank you for that, Robert. All right, in closing, I just wanted to share some final thoughts with you all. I want you to think back to the first time you ever heard about Bitcoin. Not necessarily the time that you first invested in Bitcoin, but just the first time that you kind of understood what was going on. For me, it was probably back in 2012 when I really understood the picture. I did not invest in Bitcoin back then, unfortunately, but I first heard about it and kind of understood what was going on. Okay, imagine if somebody would have came up to you then and said, oh, by the way, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook are going to eventually issue their own cryptocurrency, and it's probably going to be a pivotal moment in the educating factor of the masses before they enter the entire crypto space. Would you have believed them? I don't know if I would have believed them, but here we are on June 18th, 2019, and this reality is manifesting before our eyes. I've never been more bullish on Bitcoin than I am right now. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about Libra's development coming to this space? Is it going to be a positive or is it going to be a negative? How is it going to affect XRP? How will it affect Bitcoin? Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe on YouTube, share this on Twitter, and consider following us on Instagram. It's your pal Billy with Altcoin Buzz. Until next time, peace.